Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to explore a super useful pattern in React called the builder design pattern. So if you have ever found yourself managing complex objects in React, this pattern will help you to make that process so much easier. I will walk you through it step by step using TypeScript. And don't worry if you are not familiar with TypeScript, JavaScript also will be just fine. And by end, you will understand how to apply this to your own project. So let's get started. All right. So what exactly is the builder design pattern? So imagine you want to build something complex like a house or a pizza. You can't just do everything in one go. You need to follow steps. The builder design pattern lets you build things step by step and customize them along the way. It helps us manage complex objects, separating how we build them from what we are building. So this pattern is super useful when you are dealing with complex React components. For example, think about forms with different sections or configurations for dashboards. Instead of building everything in one giant function, the builder design pattern lets you build each part separately, making your code more flexible and reusable. Plus, if you want to create a different version of the object, you can just tweak a few steps without changing everything. So let's dive into a real world example to make this crystal clear. We are going to build a pizza step by step using TypeScript. Are you ready? So let's go. First thing what I will do, I'll create a component. So I'll do a components folder. Then I'll create a folder called pizza maker, for example. And then I'll just create my components under that. So first thing, of course, we need to create our components. I'll create one using my Visual Studio Code, and I'll call it pizza maker. Great. Now, I defined my components. I want to initialize the state for the pizza with empty values. Okay, so first thing, of course, we need to import use state. And with new React, you don't have to keep importing React, but if you want to do it, feel free to do it. So I'll come inside my functional component. I'll just initialize my state here, and I'll create a state called pizza. And then I set a function, of course, which called set pizza, and that will be equal to use state. Okay, so we're creating our local state to our local store. Okay, now this state will accept a default values. So for example, let's say I want a layer of crust. Okay, and let's add something all called sauce, and let's add something called cheese, and let's say also toppings, and that will be an array. Oops. And of course, because we're using TypeScript, I need to define a type for my state. So I'll just paste it right here, and I'll call it pizza I for pizza interface. And then I'll pass that type to my use state. And of course, you're using JavaScript, you don't have to do that at all. Oops. So I'll just call it pizza I. Okay, so now everything is happy. Now next thing we want to do is construct or build our pizza, right? So we'll say we take these things step by step. So the first step, for example, is adding the crust. Okay, so I created a function called add crust, so it's only handled the crust addition to my pizza. And all what it does is that it pick up my current state. Okay, so we're using the setter function, pick up current state. So whatever values are there, keep it, and only change the type of my crust. Okay, which we are passing that as a property for our function. So this one, all what it does is just a build the crust section for us. Okay, now same thing we will do for others as well. Okay, so we'll create again another function which handle for us only the sauce. Okay, so whatever changes, that function will only handle the sauce change only. Okay, so what sauce, for example, you want to add to your pizza. Now, next thing again, we'll do same thing now for others. I think you got it now. Come right here and I'll add another step which is for cheese and does also the same thing. It just pick up my state and build on top of it, keep the state whatever it is, and just change the cheese or the type of my cheese. Okay. Now same thing for our topping as well. So we'll come right here and all what you will do as well is just change the toppings in my state. But whatever my previous state, just keep it as it is and don't change it. Okay. Now, after building, we can return the complete pizza to, for example, a pizza display function. Okay. So what I will do before I build the UI here, I'll add another component which call pizza display. Okay, and I'll create my component there, index.tsx, generate my component, call it pizza display. Okay, and this basically will just display my pizza. Okay, so of course you'll accept a property here which called pizza that I'll pass from the parent component, and that pizza will be of type pizza, of type pizza I or whatever interface actually we made on top here. So I'll export this and I'll just import it from my other file. So just import it right there. Okay. So all what we are saying is that this display pizza will just display for me the pizza, and we are getting this property from the parent component, and it is of this type right here. Okay. Now in the UI, again, it's very simple. All what we will do is just display the details of our pizza, and my mouse is just not helping me out today. So let's just select this and paste that. So always we're saying this is your pizza, this is your crust, this is your sauce, and these the list of your toppings, and that's your cheese basically. Okay, simple as that. Now we come right down here to our return function, and all what I will do now is just import my child component and just pass the details to it basically. Okay, and I add few buttons there as well, so I need to import this. So all what I done here is now is just after we build it, now we have to return this completed pizza to our pizza display component, and I added few buttons right here, and I don't know why this add sauce is complaining. Basically I just forgot some curly bracket in my code, so now it's all good. So all what I have done here, basically I just added 4 buttons, and in my buttons basically I'm just adding the ingredients. Okay, so each button will hand for me one ingredient, one to add the crust, one to add tomato sauce, and another one to add mozzarella, and other one to add the pepperoni as my topping to the list. Okay, then I'm displaying my components, and now let's see how this will work. And this how it look like, and I don't think it looks pretty good, so give me a moment. I'll just put some styles here. So I'll just go down right here, and all what I will do is exactly same thing with some styling. Okay, so all I'm doing, I'm just using Taiwan CSS to help me add some basic styling so our UI looks more friendly. And same thing I will do for my pizza display as well. I'll just add some styling there as well. And let's go back to our UI, and this is much better and much cleaner to the eyes. Now, of course, let's try and see if our UI is working. So I'll just add a thin crust to my pizza. You can see that's working. Let's add tomato sauce, let's add mozzarella, and let's add some topping as well. So this will give you a good idea, right? So this why this pattern is called a builder pattern. You can actually, with the same function, you can make it dynamic and build as many pizzas you want, okay? Whatever you like. And same thing, for example, if you're building a home. So now let's go over this again. So what we have done basically now is that we use TypeScript state. First, we define the pizza up here in our lane 15 and specify that our pizza will have a crust, a sauce, and cheese and topping. Okay, and the top is this array of strings. Then we use the use state with TypeScript. So we use the use state hook to store the pizza state. In TypeScript, we define that the state must follow the structure of our pizza type that we defined in lane 6. Then we create functions. So we have four functions right here: add crust, add sauce, and add cheese, and add toppings. Each one is responsible for updating a part of the pizza. So notice how we don't touch the whole pizza object at once. We just update one part at a time. And this keeps the logic organized. Then finally, we did the display in the pizza, which we passed the pizza object down to our child component pizza display, which shows the completed pizza with all those chosen options. So what is the big deal with all of this? Why we use the builder design pattern? So first things for flexibility. So imagine you want to create a different pizzas, maybe one with extra cheese or another one with gluten-free crust. The steps stay the same, but the details change. You don't have to rebuild everything from scratch. Then you have the reusability. So you can use easily reuse these functions to build other customizations, like building a sandwich or creating a car with different parts or configuring a dashboard. You can follow the same process without writing a new code. Then you have the maintenance. If you ever need to add a new step like a special sauce, you can just add another function without breaking everything. So your code stays clean and easy to maintain as well. And to push this further, let's say you are building a car, you'll have steps like adding the engine, the wheels, the paint, and also the interior. By using the builder design pattern, you can easily mix and match the parts to create different versions of the car: a sport car, a family car, or even an electric car. That is the builder design pattern in a nutshell. It helps you build complex objects step by step, keeps your code flexible and reusable, and make it easy to maintain. You can use this pattern in many scenarios, from building pizzas to cars or even more advanced React components. So give it your try in your next project and see how much easier it makes things. So thanks for watching. If you found this helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more tips on React and TypeScript. So see you in the next video.